Today I'm reviewing Bon Appetit, which is a card game by Avant-Garde Games. It's like the coolest name ever thus far, that I've heard. This game is pretty simple to learn, really easy to play, and I enjoy that it's an original concept. I haven't seen anything that involves stealing steak at a restaurant, which, if you can come up with something, that'd be awesome, because I'd love to play it. So everyone gets 5 cards. And like always, I'm doing a 3-player game. The point of the game is to take stake cards from your opponents and play them out in points. First player to 3 stakes win. So I'm going to look at my hand. I have a couple options here. I can play tableware cards that add up to 7. Each tableware card has a number on the top left. So I'll go ahead and play my plates and my salt and pepper. So that's 7. And what I can do with that is I point at an opponent, I'm like, I think you have a stake. They look at their hand. If they have a stake, which they don't, they would hand it to me and I score that as a point. What else can I do? If I want, I could play a character card. And that pretty much gives me an action. This one specifically says if I have a stake in my hand, which I do, I play it and I score it from my hand. So now I have 1 point. So I'll draw back up to 5. Player 2 goes, and he doesn't really like his hand. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna discard a card and draw a card, which is something you're able to do. The last option you have is you could just pass your turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it for player 3 really quick, and he's gonna play the busboy. That's gonna steal a stake card from me. Draws back up 1. I'm gonna go. So I'm going to go ahead and play these 2 cards that I was going to play earlier to equal 7, which is the salt and pepper and the plates. And I'm going to ask him if he has a stake. He does, because I remember. And I'm going to play it down. So player 2 goes, and this is what I was going to talk about with the comboing. So he's going to play a bartender, and that's going to count as a tableware, because it gives you an option to choose from 1 to 5 as far as points go. So that's really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a 5 so I can play a salt and pepper, which makes it 7, so I don't waste any points. He's going to ask me, and I do have a stake on me. So now he has a point. Now this is going to continue until somebody gets 3 stakes, winning the game. And yes, it really is as simple as it looks, and it is really fun. I think the amount of action cards and the actions given on them make it a really exciting game, because they're not your quintessential action cards like take a card, draw a card, or so forth. They kind of they amplify the immersion of the restaurant, and I enjoy that. I enjoy when games, put some thought into the actions that you're going to be using. I also think the box comes in a really nice little box for your cards. Fits perfectly. What I do enjoy about it, it's a very interactive card game. As you see, most of the time, majority of the time, you're actually just interacting with other players in order to get stakes or to use actions, which makes it fun when you want to play games that are interactive with each other rather than just watching other players' turns go. I also think that this is a better game for more than 2 players. With 2 players, it would seem a little dull because it's just a back and forth. I think with more players, it's more exciting. However, the minimum is playable. And of course, I love the atmosphere the game gives off. I mean, throughout each card and the color palette, it gives you more of an immersion. It looks like a fancy restaurant. I mean, it looks like we're in a dim lit restaurant sitting down playing with our food. And that is, I'm pretty sure, what they were going for. And I'm going to be honest, I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it if you're looking for a filler card game that has a little competition, a little take that involved. And if so, I'm sure I'll have a link below or something. Yeah, thank you. The competition doesn't seem too competitive. I mean, it's very lighthearted. It's not like I'm really destroying your round. There's only 3 points in the game. So if you lose 1, it's not a big deal.